I got a low temperament, so
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
here for
I'm an old
radio.
dog. That's right.
This is nighttime radio. It's like what was her name? Delilah. You guys ever listen to
Oh,
Delilah?
Yeah,
Oh,
it sounds
yeah.
familiar.
She was always
She
like
had a soothing
soft-spoken.
voice.
Yeah. You listen to Delilah like Christmas time. She make you feel warm and fuzzy.
Man, like a warm
Yeah.
cup of coffee. What a segue
Well,
to our guest today.
What are we at? Yeah, episode 17. 17
Yeah.
now? Episode 17 of the Nickla Root Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. We are here with Alec Fletes. Right? Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Cool, man. Thank you for coming in. New owner of Sip Coffee House, Crown Point. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, of course. So you've been working. You worked at the Sip for how many years? Is it the Sip or is it just Sip? Some people say the Sip.
Let's clear
Either
this
one
up.
goes
Sip.
by. It's Sip,
Sip.
like in the name,
Straight up.
technically.
He says, call it whatever you want. Just
Sip.
come on in.
It's like my name. I get called Alex all the time.
Yeah.
Really?
I get called
And I-
Alec all the time.
And I just go with it. I'm like,
Man, you wouldn't believe what they call me.
I get with a name like Mitch.
what they call you? Let's hear it.
It sure does rhyme.
Oh man, we're gonna have to change the rating on this YouTube channel if I unpack that one.
Dude, and yeah, I get like with my last name Nickla, I get Nick all the time.
Oh, I
all the time.
imagine.
But yeah, so new owner of Sip, Crown Point, and you're the sole owner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Yes,
24 years old.
Yes, sir.
Amazing, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So yeah, so you worked there. How long did you work there prior to?
I worked there about 5 years now.
Wow, it's been that long?
Yeah.
That makes sense, man. That makes sense.
I worked part-time. Part of the 5 years was part-time in college. It's been a crazy ride. I got hired. Someone contacted me. I was too scared to apply because they always said you need experience for being a barista or a server, And it was my second job. And I would make latte art at home. And one day they saw it on a story and they're like, hey, you want a job? And I was like,
Dang.
oh my gosh, I don't have any experience. Like, it's fine. You make amazing latte art.
Wow.
Like it's like on Snapchat or like Instagram?
Instagram was what they hit me
Instagram?
up.
Wow.
I did all of them. I did like the chocolate syrup, like the foam, the whole
The whole
whole
nine
nine
yards.
You
yards.
went from cooking up some lattes at home to
The
someone
home
saw
brew.
you on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, come work here.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes like coffee shops because they're all want experience because it's very expensive
Yeah.
equipment and you get burnt all the time. So
Man,
You get
that's
burnt
awesome.
all the time?
like not burnt, but you develop some sensitivity because
Yeah.
you're dealing with hot milk.
Yeah, it
And
makes
you got to
sense.
feel it and be like, oh, it's too hot.
Dang.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's an art.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start from the beginning. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up, believe it or not, actually here in Crown Point,
Nice.
Indiana. I went through Crown Point High School. I went to St. Mary's
Yep.
growing up. I did tennis and soccer.
What were you like in high school? That's like the
Mhm.
famous question of the show.
I was kind of just a jack of all trades.
Mhm.
I hung out with everyone. I always tried to be very nice to everyone.
Mhm.
And
That's a good quality.
Yeah. So I grew up from a family of there's 7 of us in the family, but 5 siblings. I'm the
Nice.
oldest, so I've always been the one that's been responsible, but also the experiment child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're the oldest of 5.
Yes.
So
Wow.
brothers, sisters, combo both?
I have both.
Both.
I have 2 brothers that are twins.
Nice.
They're younger. I have a sister that just moved to Florida, and I have a little sister who's at St. Mary's right now.
Nice.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So leading the way.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. So when you were when did because when we first started, like when I was coming to Sip and getting coffee and talking to you, you like you had said, you always just try to be nice to people, and you've always been that way. From the first time that we met, I always enjoyed talking to you. It was great. And then pretty early on, we got into conversations like, on your own, you were investing into stocks, and also you had mentioned one day you wanted to own your own cafe. Like we had talked about that a few years back. So when did you start? When did your business mind start to take place? Was it early on? Were you one of those kids who like sold lemonade on the streets, or were you like when did your business attributes start?
Well, growing up, I was always I thought I wanted to be a doctor. And then I realized I was not very happy with that. And I always had a little bit of a business mind, like little snippets. Like at St. Mary's, I wanted to do a fundraiser. But really it hit me in college when I first turned 18. Because I was, college expenses are coming in. You have no income.
Right.
And I looked up ways
okay.
to make money. And it was like, oh, there's the stock market. And I'm like, I've never even Actually, I was exposed to it from like the contests in school,
Yeah.
and
Right.
I remember winning one of them because I invested in Victoria's Secrets before what is it, the L Brands that owns them,
Heck of an
before
investment.
Valentine's Day, and everyone's like, "Oh,
Whoa,
you
wow.
weirdo! Why are you investing in Victoria's Secrets?" And then right through the roof.
Just knew the seasonality of it.
Yeah,
Smart man.
and nowadays you can't predict that because everyone tries to predict.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so college was when it really took off, like the investing,
Mhm.
because I was like, how can I make income? And it was dense. I mean, I realized why not everyone does the stock market. It's one of those things. But that's what I've also learned with the coffee shop too. The hardest things are usually the most prosperous and adventurous, because if everyone could do it, you guys already know this, but if
Yeah.
everyone could do it, you can't,
Yeah. Where's the reward in that, right?
there is none. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just started off with penny stocks and made a lot of mistakes, learned why they're penny stocks, worked my way up. The one thing I've always had as a business mind was I was always a saver.
Yeah.
I saved when I was a kid, saved everything. I'm not a big spender. I don't like buying very luxury goods.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I would like to, but I just never,
Yeah.
I'd rather invest it or put it to something of use.
Yeah.
And now it paid off because
Yeah. Look
coffee
where you're at.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. So then, did you want to follow up with that? I don't know.
No,
if you
keep
had
going,
something.
man. You're on
Cool. So then you start. You're working at SIP. You're going through school. What were you studying again?
biochemistry.
And that was the doctor route, or was that
Yeah.
separate? Okay.
Yes, that was the doctor route, and then I also fell in love with business because I took a couple business classes. Absolutely loved it.
Mm.
I loved financials,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, the stocks. It took a while to work up.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me just being like, oh, I like Microsoft. Let me buy a couple
Yeah.
shares, and then over time, you learn how to. I learned how to read balance sheets, income statements, cash flows.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's weird. It might sound weird, but in my free time, I like looking at companies and seeing what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Heck yeah.
because there's something for everything. Those stickers you see on the street, someone's making that.
Mhm.
Someone's making that car, every little piece, selling
Right.
it to each other.
Mhm.
So,
It's awesome.
I think it's cool when you, as like a young adult, or it happens for everybody at a different time. But when you start to look at the world kind of differently like that, you see like all the opportunity out there. Or like for me, it was like, when you're driving down the road and you see like all these different little houses, and it's like, man, somebody owns a bunch of those.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I read a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I don't know if you
Yes,
yeah.
I'm familiar with that.
Most people that are on the podcast have, and that really changed it for me. Was there anything like, I know we talked about like you getting into stocks, but was there anything like Rich Dad Poor Dad, or like any kind of resource that like really helped you get going?
I mean, I used YouTube for a while.
Same.
Not really any
Yeah.
certain like account. I kind of just switched around.
Yeah.
That was about it, just for like opinions. What I do now is I value a stock and then watch YouTube videos rather than watching them before, because then they might find something that I don't know.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, red flag on this. I'm like, oh, I just completely browsed over that, like Goodwill
Mm.
impairment or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I don't really have a direct source. I was self-taught. I remember for a while I would teach people just how to get into it, but it was like hard because you don't have any mentor. I was like, I just wish I had someone to like go and physically talk to.
Mm.
But I feel like that's made me a lot who I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're blazing the trail. I think that like beckons back to like your childhood, being the firstborn.
Yeah,
You're,
all
like,
alone.
You just figure it out, and that's like how you're wired.
Yeah.
What about like your parents? Were your parents in business? Were they in the
No,
medical field? Was that the route you were looking at?
My dad's a doctor and
Okay.
my mom's a stay-at-home mom.
Man, that's
So-
awesome. So, what about from your father as a doctor? I mean, it takes a lot to get to that point. Did you have was there any principles or values or anything you learned from your parents that you think have gotten you here? Like, how do you have this natural, just like, I don't know, I'm just interested in business. I'm interested in this. I started learning all on my own. Do you think it stems from your mom and your dad? Like, what are some of the values and principles and things you got from them?
Well, definitely my mom, bless her soul. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She always made me go to church. She really taught me to be kind to everyone. One of the core values I always have is that's someone's mother, that's someone's father, son, grandma, grandpa. before you cuss them out, before you get mad or try and road rage or anything. That is someone else's sweet baby. You see someone die on the news, it's like, dang, that is someone. So that was very helpful. My dad taught me a lot about like conceptual thinking and critical analysis. Like it's not a formula. You got to adapt and make creative fixes. He also taught me though, honestly, from how hard he'd work, you got to work hard. Like, I mean, I've always had that above and beyond. Don't do the bare minimum because you're just like everyone else.
The combination of your mom teaching you just how to care for other and love other people,
Mm-hmm.
and your father think conceptually, look into this, but also work hard.
Yeah.
Put that together. That's a beautiful mix. It's also awesome too, running a coffee shop, a cafe.
Yeah.
I mean, every day, like when I think about going to a cafe, like I've met some of the nicest people ever. I've built some amazing relationships from just sitting at coffee shops. It's like a place you go that, again, you get this cup of coffee, a tea, whatever, and it's warm, it's inviting, it's friendly, and then from there you get that ability to do all of those things.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, man.
Definitely the SIP made me a lot more social and develop a lot of like communication skills.
That's
for
awesome.
sure. Because I would be probably a little bit more introverted if not.
Yeah. How did the opportunity present itself to purchase SIP in Crown Point?
So I'm trying to remember the exact moment, but basically I've been saving forever. And I was at that point where my parents honestly were the ones who caused it. They're like, you do realize you could have $10 million. You're going to say that you're not ready. Mm-hmm. You got to now take the leap, start either your own or figure out what's going on. And I was like, oh, there's an opportunity with the SIP Coffee House. I'll present and see if she's interested. And yeah, she was. She was like,
How long ago was this?
She's 6 to 8 months ago.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it, we all know it, but like, oh my gosh, the lawyers, the accountants, it takes a while. So I was like, oh, I either start up my own somewhere around, but I really wanted the SIP deep down because it was just, I grew up there. I went there when I was a kid. It's my childhood memories right there. Mm-hmm. That was my safe place. Like just somewhere always to sit down and relax or stressed or so.
You can preserve that now for other kids.
Yeah, that's my goal.
People.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So what's your plans for the SIP? Maintain it?
My plans are to, right now, obviously, since I'm taking over, it's a lot. I'm just trying to land softly.
Absolutely.
Transition, you know. And then I would like to preserve it. I don't want to change very much, but I do want to structure it a little bit more like corporately, not as a corporation, but I want to buy some new outdoor furniture, fix up how some of the ways things are ran, and just make sure it's consistent every single time. It usually is, but like always, because it's that one time that it messes up, the sandwiches, you know, it's someone that's paying hard-earned money for it.
Yeah.
Systems, put some systems and processes, maybe some different.
Yeah, I like bringing tech into it too, like to the back house.
Yeah.
Because I was taught in college how to code for Excel, and that's been wonderful with like inventory systems. Now the employees just put it on a tablet, it's linked right to me, and I see it at home rather than taking a picture.
Yeah. So no like major changes, not like changing the whole interior, crazy change. I mean, because SIP's got its own feel, right? Different crazy colors everywhere.
A lot of character.
Yeah, it's different, right? So like, is the plan to maintain that, or are there going to be some changes inside? What's your thought?
There will be a few changes, but nothing, like I said, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe like I saw that we have a rug that's been in there for a while. I'm like, I might buy a new rug. No, little things.
Man, dude.
No, because a lot of people really put a lot of memories in there.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful if you change anything.
Yes.
I've already had plenty of messages. Please don't take this off, or please don't. And I get it, because, you know, I remember when they painted when I was a customer, and they painted the whole place. I was like, oh my gosh, how could they do this? And then eventually I ended up liking it, but it's just that shock.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, what did they do? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
that could throw some, you know, loyal customers off, and it's changing, we're not coming back, right? So just making it better.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it better. You're gonna take what's already there and improve it, fine tune it, make it more consistent.
All the patch all the holes, everything.
Heck yeah.
There's some awesome art in that place.
I know. I love it. And
that is cool.
There's definitely been a couple pieces I've wanted to buy. But I just had that mindset.
You're just like, I'm just going to buy the building though.
I'm just going to buy
I'm just going to save.
I won't buy this piece of art. I'm going to buy the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Good for
you. It paid off, you know.
That's awesome.
I look back and I knew this was coming. Like, I would pat myself on the back. Because it's just all the sacrifices I've made. College was a rough time. I remember I had some really bad low times. I think that's a big changing point too, when I was really in trouble financially. So that's what made me, I hunkered down and saved. Didn't go out to eat, made food at home.
Mm-hmm.
So how long did it take you to go from, that point in your life, that low point to where we are now? Only a few years, right?
Sophomore year, senior. About 5 years.
5 years. So that's got to be encouraging for somebody. I remember when I was in college, I was super broke, and I'm not a rich man by any means, but it is encouraging to hear from somebody like yourself when you are in that place. I'm sure you remember being 2019, just getting your license, to be able to hear this story. If you could take yourself back in time, what would that mean to you to hear his story?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I came home with $14 in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I remember that day. I remember driving home from Bloomington, Indiana with $14.
All 14 of them.
$14, and I want to say 7 cents. I remember looking at the app, and I saw it, and just feeling very defeated, shit, I got to go home,
Yeah.
And, yeah. And,
talk about a low place, man.
Yeah. And had to go get a sales job, had to move back in at my mom's house. And I knew I wasn't going to be there for long, but at the time I was just, it's funny because even at that point, I was a very spiritually, mentally wealthy man. It was just that physically in my life, I was not there. So I remember coming back from Bloomington at 19, coming home and being like, I got to make some changes, man. And so, like you said, you hunker down and you do it however you want to do it. But that was, 8 years ago. So, and a lot can change. A lot can change in a quick period of time.
Yeah.
So, 5 years later, look what you're doing, right? 5 years later, you save, you work, you continue to work hard, you build your mind, you build all of that. And I think there's something that's really valuable here, and it makes so much sense with you taking over a cafe. It's you got to look at the way that you were brought up. You have a mother who's kind and loving and teaches you these values and principles to be kind to others no matter what. And you've always been that way. As long as I've known you, that's how you've been. But then you also have, the values from your dad of you need to work hard, but at the same time, look at things conceptually, learn how to solve problems, solve issues. And you're literally taking all of that and putting it into your life now, in your business now. It's very cool to see.
I appreciate it.
I love seeing that, we've been here on the square now for 4 years. And I love seeing younger entrepreneurs, younger businesses come into the area. Not that, it's just cool to see the baton get passed, right?
Yeah.
In certain areas. And I know a lot of young business owners on the square. It's so cool to see, man. The restaurants that are here are from younger business owners and entrepreneurs. Yeah. The financial service businesses, the mortgage businesses, the real estate companies. All of these things are slowly. And now, Brienne at Cafe Fresco, she's young too. She's had her young she's been young for she's had her business for a while. She got them. She's young, so it's cool to see all of that now and to see SIP coming to you, man. It's super cool. Is there anything that you wanted to share about your business, about maybe just in general you want to say to the people of Crown Point and Northwest Indiana about your company and about the cafe?
I just want to say honestly thank you to everyone. You guys have been absolutely outstanding. I've been working a lot, so I haven't really. Last night I finally was able to respond to people reaching out to me, but it absolutely means the world to me. I wish I could express it even more than I physically can, because it just means the world to me, all these people, every single one of them. I read every single comment, and I appreciate it all. And I look forward to serving the community and, making the SIP awesome. It was already awesome to begin with, but
just making it even awesomer.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
dude, really appreciate you coming on, Alec. Thank you for being here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's awesome. It's a huge accomplishment at 24
Yeah.
years old. You should be very, very proud of yourself. Because I mean, even as someone that like I wouldn't consider us close friends, but you've always been a friend.
I've known, yeah.
We've known each other. But I mean, I'm 27, so we're close in age. You should be. It's hard to take in the moment now because you're in it and you're running a business.
Exactly.
And you've got hundreds of people coming through your doors and you've got dozens of employees and inventory and all that. But I hope you find some time to just sit back, breathe, and just be like, man, this is cool. And you should really be proud of what you've done now. Yeah. And then take that moment in, and then as time goes on, you're just going to make it better, and then you're going to buy the next one and buy the next one and do your thing. And any way we can help you and support you, man,
I appreciate it. I'm glad you brought that up because I haven't not had time to celebrate yet, and it hasn't hit me yet.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, if you work and you do all of these, like I struggled with this for a lot of things, or for a very long time, because I'm similar to you in the fact that I never spent money, I never bought things, and maybe you celebrate differently. Like I usually celebrate with like a cigar and sit outside, or I just hang out with my buddies and just relax, or I'll just sit by myself and just take it in. But some people celebrate differently, some people, but it is very important. At the end of the day, you can very quickly burn yourself out if you have these goals and these visions in life and they become realities and then you do nothing about them. You don't take the time to be present in the fact that just happened. You just accomplished one of the years ago we talked about. You said you wanted to own a cafe. You're 24 and you own a cafe on downtown Crown Point, an area that's growing significantly, in a cafe that a lot of people would want to own. If someone knew that was for sale, you know how many people, like I could have brought that to probably about 30 people, and they would have purchased the set. So at your age to have that, you've got to take the time in the craziness, and just let it and celebrate that. Because if you don't, you'll quickly burn out. It's just one accomplishment to the next, and then all of a sudden you're like, why am I doing what I'm doing? You got to you've had this vision. Find your time to take a moment and just be like, man, that's cool with whoever it is you want that to be and however it is that you do that. But it is very important to do that, because if you don't, you can burn out quickly. But you should be very proud of yourself, man. And it's hard to do that as someone, like, I know how you think. I know how business owners think. I get it. It's on to the next. It's how do we get better? It's how do we get better? But you got to find a way to be present in such a cool thing you just accomplished, man. So congratulations. We're grateful to be your neighbors here, and looking forward to watching you grow, man.
I appreciate it.
Cool.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming,
man.
Thanks, man.